When you think about the AI revolution, you probably think of one person, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. He is without a doubt the face of a technology that's changing, well, everything. But to really get a handle on the future he's building, we have to understand the man himself. And trust me, that's a lot trickier than it sounds. So this is the Sam Altman you see on the news. He's calm, he's collected, he's testifying before Congress. And what's his message? It's just a tool. It's not some creature that's going to run wild, it's something we control. You know, it's the perfect thing to say to make everyone take a deep breath and feel a little safer. But then you hear about the other Sam Altman, the one behind the scenes. While the public-facing Sam is saying everything's fine, the private Sam is reportedly a full-on doomsday prepper. We're talking a hidden bunker, weapons, the whole 9 yards. So you have to ask, which one is real? To figure that out, you really have to peel back the layers and look at his journey. It's a story that follows the classic Silicon Valley playbook, step by step, but with this massive twist that could literally redefine what it means to be human. So, let's start with the Sam Altman that the world thinks it knows. The ultimate tech insider, a guy who was a product of the very system he's now about to upend. Just look at the speed here. He drops out of Stanford, starts a company, sells it for over $43 million bucks, and get this, that's all before he's even 30. His rise was just meteoric, right up to taking the top job at what would become the most important AI company on the planet. You know, running Y Combinator, that's like sitting in the crow's nest of the entire startup world. He saw thousands of companies succeed and fail. He developed this incredible knack for knowing how to take a small idea and scale it up at warp speed. And that skill, it turned out to be absolutely crucial for OpenAI. Okay, so as his focus shifts completely over to AI, Altman starts talking publicly about the huge disruption his own technology might cause, and he starts pushing for a pretty radical solution. And remember, this is way back in 2016, years before ChatGPT was a household name. He was already talking about Universal Basic Income, or UBI. He was basically saying, look, AI is going to make a few people insanely rich and put a lot of people out of work, so we're going to need a system to spread that wealth around. I mean, the argument is pretty simple, and it sounds great, right? It makes tech leaders look like these visionary good guys who are solving the world's problems before they even happen. It seems like a total win-win. But some critics see something else going on, something much, much deeper. Yeah, because when you dig into it, some folks argue that this whole UBI proposal, it's not really about philanthropy, it's about power. Okay, to get this, we need to quickly touch on this idea from sociology called symbolic violence. Now, it sounds intense, but stick with me. It's not about physical force. It's more subtle. It's when a powerful group makes its way of seeing the world seem so natural and inevitable that everyone else, even the people at the bottom, just kind of accept it as the way things are. So here's how critics apply that idea to UBI. Step 1, tech elites create a problem, in this case, massive job loss from AI. Step 2, they write in with their solution, Universal Basic Income. And in step 3, by us accepting their solution, we implicitly accept their premise, that an AI-dominated future is inevitable and that they are the ones in charge. It's a genius, subtle way to cement their power. And here's the kicker. A study that Sam Altman himself funded found that UBI didn't really work as advertised. Yeah, it helped people pay the bills, but it didn't really fix the bigger problems like finding new work or improving health outcomes. It kind of suggests that UBI isn't the magic fix it's made out to be, which, you know, makes you question the real motive for pushing it so hard. So, if UBI isn't the real answer, if it's more of a strategic move, then what's the end game? Well, for that, you have to find the other Sam Altman, the one who, before he was a global celebrity, wrote about a future that is way more radical and, frankly, way more alarming than anything he talks about in public today. In a blog post from 2017, again, way before ChatGPT, he laid out this incredibly stark choice for all of us: merge or die. This is not the measured CEO talking about a tool, is it? This is the language of someone who truly believes humanity is at an evolutionary cliff's edge. And his timeline for this incredible leap? We're not talking about centuries, or even decades. He has said he thinks AI will blow past human intelligence in almost every single area in as little as 1 to 5 years. In his mind, this isn't some distant sci-fi threat, it's right around the corner. And it's not just him. His own co-founder at OpenAI, Ilya Sutskever, once offered this absolutely chilling analogy. He said to a future superintelligence, we humans might become like animals are to us. Think about it. We don't hate squirrels, but if we want to build a highway, we don't exactly ask their permission, do we? So, how do you square these two Sams? The calm public advocate for safety and the private theorist of human extinction? Well, it all comes to a head in the big debate happening right now, AI regulation. He is now front and center, practically begging governments to regulate his industry. He's positioning OpenAI as a responsible partner, someone who wants to work with policymakers to manage the huge risks of the very thing they're racing to build. And as you can imagine, people see this in two totally different ways. On one hand, you could say this is a genuine call for safety. He's worried and he wants guardrails. But on the other hand, critics say this is a brilliant play for power. If you create complex licensing rules, only the giant companies like OpenAI can afford to comply. It builds what's called a competitive moat, locking out any smaller competitors. This gets at a really tricky idea that policy experts call the regulatory alignment problem. It's basically when a rule that's supposed to fix a problem not only fails, but it backfires and creates a whole new set of problems, like, say, accidentally creating a powerful monopoly in the name of safety. And that leaves us right here with this one giant unanswered question. As we're all standing on the edge of this new world, we have to ask, is this push for regulation a shield meant to protect all of humanity? Or is it a wall designed to protect the new empires being built in Silicon Valley? Because the answer to that question is going to define all of our futures.